Michael J. Sullivan is sounding the alarm about the new Audible program for authors, that it's going to result in a lot less income for people who are selling books. This is something that Amazon does fairly regularly. As much as the Kindle Unlimited program is something that many authors also are into, when you buy or read one of those books on Kindle, you're not really buying it. The author gets about a third of what you would get if you would have bought the book proper, which kind of sucks for authors, to be honest. It takes a lot to write a book, and the profit margins are not all that much as it is. So it's pretty low, and of course, Amazon keeps altering the deal, and the reason is for one reason, which I'm going to get into in just a moment, and we're also going to show why this deal is pretty bad based on what Michael J. Sullivan is saying. I'm a big Michael J. Sullivan fan. I think he's great. I loved his Theft of Swords and this whole Rhyria Revelations saga. He was one of the first people I interviewed, actually, back when I first started a YouTube channel. I didn't do this every day, but I actually just was interviewing a few authors here and there. And he was one of them. Really gracious guy, amazing businessman who's on top of things as well, and a really wonderful fantasy writer. So I'm glad, of course, he's leading the charge on this as a writer myself now. And guys, please hit the like and subscribe button as we cover your real fantasy news here. We're covering everything going on in science fiction and fantasy. And I am a fantasy writer myself. This is my first Steam in Country. It's the book one of my Adventures of Baron von Monocle bestseller. You can see it's done very, very well. Sold over 30,000 copies thanks to, of course, viewers like you. And we have 6 books in this series that you can check out. They're available on ebook, print, and Audible, of course. And look, it is only on Audible for the audio because the way that Amazon does this, and it is only available the same way for the ebook, is that they force you as an author actually to beginning to be on their platform. So if you do not go Audible exclusive, they actually cut your royalties in half. So it's like you have to do it in order to survive pretty much. There's not really other bookstores out there. This is all monopoly, right? When you have a monopoly, this is the type of thing that happens. But it is the only way we can sell books right now. I do have an online bookstore for my paperback books, which you can check out, which I appreciate everybody who does so, and that sells direct from me. But this is the spot. So if you want to support independent authors, this is a really fun series. Get in on it in the description below. Thank you for being here. And of course, I'd love for you to get all 6 books. It really builds up into a nice climax here. But as I said, Amazon's altering the deal. Pray I do not alter it further. As Darth Vader might say. They really are kind of like the Darth Vader of fiction here. But over the last year, Audible created Audible Plus. Yes, it's just like Kindle Unlimited where you're going to subscribe again, and you get a curated selection alongside their monthly credit purchases like they do with Kindle Unlimited. Now, when customers use credits to buy indie books, but also stream Plus titles, the revenue gets divided among all consumed content, which overall results in lower pay for Amazon authors. Now, Michael J. Sullivan is leading the charge against this, and he actually posted to Facebook the other day saying, over a year ago, Audible announced a new royalty model was coming. They claimed it would mean higher royalties for authors and publishers, but unfortunately, the devil is in the details. This is exactly like redux of Kindle Unlimited. I remember this exact discussion happening at that time. Now they've finally learned that the details of this new model, we are gravely concerned. While the headline announcement increases the royalty percentage as promised, buried in the fine print are scenarios which will lead to your reduced royalties for authors who will be forced to subsidize money for titles in their all-you-can-listen programs. And there's a reason for this, which I'm going to get into in just a moment, which is really insidious. In short, they're taking money from higher value titles, people who paid for it, to give lower value titles that Audible themselves describe as free. I do not believe this is in the best interest for the vast majority of audiobook publishers, nor do I think it's aligned with how listeners would expect creators of these stories to be compensated. Robin, that's his wife, has proposed that Audible keeps the pools separate to remain consistent and revenue value of each audiobook. If that sounds good to you, please sign the petition so we can get Audible to understand our frustrations. And if you like a detailed explanation of how I got here, please read on. And so on this GoFundMe link, it actually will go into the scenario, and we're going to go into that deep scenario in just a moment. Now, Amazon, I believe, is doing this for one big reason. Amazon's also introduced a new AI readership, which Amazon will control these AI voices, which, of course, they get a fee from instead of your audiobook narrator. Now, a big thing about audiobooks, and I do have all of my books on audio, is it's very expensive to produce an audiobook. even like the lower end creators, just because it takes a lot of time, end up charging $1,000, $2,000 up front and then want royalty splits after that. And so a lot of people cannot actually afford to make audiobooks as it is. Now, I'm very, very lucky that I sell quite a bit. Actually, about 40-50% of my books are sold are audiobooks at this point. It's actually a very large percentage. And so it actually does very, very well for me. But when AI comes around and does this, Amazon's going to control that. And of course, they want that in their free program so that they can get people subscribing, because there's going to be a flood of new content from all of these authors that are out there, millions and millions of audiobooks all of a sudden, which never existed before. Amazon wants to control all of that, and that's what it's always about, is Amazon controlling things. So this flood's about to happen. It's coming in the near future, and Amazon is getting in front of it with this program, and that's exactly what I think is happening here. Very interesting on that level. Now, here is the change.org petition that they've signed. Actually, I put out a email blast about this earlier, and it looks like it's helped gain a few hundred signatures over the course of the morning. And this is what Robin Sullivan is posting. She says, over a year ago, Audible announced the coming of new royalty model, and I was excited by the headline announcing increases, but buried in the fine print is a change that hurts authors. This is robbing Peter to pay Paul. It hurts creators who don't put their titles in the all-you-can-listen program. And this is what they do. With Kindle Unlimited, you can't do their promotions and whatnot, and so you can't be in that program. And, of course, it hurts the creators who are not in it. I've tried to keep several of my books out of Kindle Unlimited over the years, and, of course, I hurt my own sales by doing so, and I, of course, ended up having to put them back in after a while. Now, says, I've proposed a tweak to this totally new royalty model that keeps the two membership plans separate, maintaining consistency of value. So here it is. To understand the problem, Audible offers two plans: the Plus, which is $7.95 a month, granting access to thousands of titles; then the Premium Plus, a subscription that provides the credits, which can be used to buy any audiobook from the entire collection. Plans start at $14.95 for one credit, but there's also a plan for 2 credits a month, and etc. And it's possible to purchase additional credits. As the name implies, the Premium Plus also grants members all access to the All Access library. Audible's current royalty model of authors' all-you-can-listen library are compensated by one-time buyout paid by Audible. So whether no one listens to a title or millions do, the authors receives a single upfront payment. The Audible's new model, these titles will begin to earn a royalty, and I fully support that change. The problem is, under certain circumstances, the payment of the royalty doesn't come from consumers or Audible. It's taken from other authors. It doesn't have to be that way, and they want to tweak this policy. From Audible's perspective, they see my proposed tweak as trying to fix something that isn't broken, but bear with me. I think you'll agree there's a problem that harms authors and that you're trying to support. As one might expect, the authors of the premium titles are compensated from fees collected from premium members. Likewise, the authors of the Plus titles are paid by Plus members. This isn't always the case. The problem arises when premium member uses a credit to buy a title, but they also consume content from an all-you-can-listen library. At the heart of the new royalty model is something called member value, and it looks like this: the member value X royalty rate. The member value will vary from month to month, and so a typical member value Audible has been using in presentations is the new plan is $13 to buy a premium title, $7 to consume a single Plus title. The tweaks I'm proposing will change how the member value works, which is Book A premium title list price $30, $35, and $20. Now calculate the member value using the rules of the new royalty model. As you can see, the premium member buys a title with a credit, and they also consume content from all you can listen. The income of one author is redirected to other authors. In essence, this sets up a zero-sum game where one author benefits at the expense of their fellow authors. So you can see that in scenario A, it's $13, scenario B, $7, scenario C, $7. But in scenario A plus B, it's $6 and $7, right? And when it's A plus B plus C, all of the authors actually end up losing out money on this overall, which is pretty ridiculous. So, to make matters worse, if the model makes me complicit in this behavior, even if I don't put any titles in the all-you-can-listen-to program. No, Title B earns the same amount when listened to in isolation or when combined with Title A. This demonstrates part of the problem. Titles in the all-you-can-listen-to benefit from both membership pools, but when it comes at the expense of the income of the loss of Title A, yes, the book purchased with an credit is earning less than the free content. Pretty wild on that level. So all they have to do is keep the various pools separated. The credit will just pay for the credit, and that's it. And the all-you-can-listen-to content, it will be compensated from the Plus memberships. The Plus member pools will be divided into two parts based on relative numbers consumed by premium members and Plus members, and that's very, very simple. You do that, and you see that the compensation here will remain something that's $13 across the board for somebody who then went through and bought the credit for A, and then the portions that are listened to get paid, for B and C as they are paid for. Makes a lot of sense. So these titles are thought of as free, and so does Audible, and that's how it all works. So if all you listen titles are free for premium members, why is my favorite author paying the price for them? It doesn't make any sense on this level. And I agree with this right here. I think this is a very, very just not thought out thing where Amazon just is trying to quickly grab control of all these AI books that are about to come on, put them in their little free program so that, of course, all the authors will have to deal with this. And it's very, very important, of course, for people to sign up for this petition. So I'll put this petition in the description below for you guys. What do you think about this? Do you think authors are getting screwed? I always think anytime Amazon does anything, authors get screwed. It's just how it goes. I appreciate Michael G.A. Sullivan for leading the charge with this. I think it's a good thing him and his wife are doing. And thank you guys for listening to this. It's very interesting seeing what's happening today as the ebook and Audible book markets are rapidly changing. All right, pick out my For Steam and Country, guys. Start here with my beautiful fantasy series. It's about an airship a crew that adventures, fights monsters, quests, gets embroiled in a war. It's really fun stuff. Great characters in this. It's in the description below on ebook, print, and on Audible, which I appreciate. And we will be back soon.